What's the funniest thing you've received in a care package? Iraq, 2008. My grandmother had been sending me packages every month. Cookies, jerky, magazines, the usual stuff. But the August package was different. Way heavier than normal. I opened it in front of my entire squad. First layer looked normal. Cookies, some candy, a couple magazines. But underneath was something wrapped in about 10 layers of bubble wrap and duct tape. My grandmother wasn't taking any chances with whatever this was. I unwrapped it slowly. The guys were gathered around like it was Christmas morning. Finally got to the center and pulled out a full-sized ceramic garden gnome. Bright red hat, blue jacket, fishing pole in his hands. A card taped to his head read, "This is Gerald. He's your battle buddy now." The entire tent erupted in laughter, but it got better. My grandmother had included a 3-page typed letter explaining Gerald's mission. Apparently, she'd been watching too much news about soldiers getting PTSD and decided I needed a friendly face to keep me company and remind me of home. The letter had detailed instructions. Gerald needed to be positioned so he could keep watch over our area. She'd researched military tactics online and determined that a garden gnome would provide excellent camouflage in desert environments because the enemy would never suspect garden decor. My squad sergeant walked over to see what the commotion was about. Took one look at Gerald and just shook his head. "Well, I've seen soldiers bring teddy bears, but this is a first. What's his rank?" Without missing a beat, I said, "He's a specialist sergeant. Specializes in morale and perimeter security." "Fair enough. Find him a spot." So we did. Set Gerald up on a sandbag next to our bunker. Within hours, other soldiers were coming by to meet him. Word spread fast. Delta Company's got a garden gnome on security duty, but here's where it gets really funny. My grandmother had apparently coordinated with other family members. Over the next 2 months, care packages started arriving with accessories for Gerald. My aunt sent a tiny Kevlar helmet that actually fit him perfectly. My cousin shipped a miniature flak jacket. My uncle, a Vietnam vet, sent military patches to put on Gerald's jacket. Gerald became the unofficial mascot of our FOB. Soldiers would pose for pictures with him before patrols. New guys had to be introduced to Gerald as part of their orientation. The base photographer even included him in official unit photos. The best part came during a surprise inspection by a visiting colonel. This full bird walks into our area, stops dead in his tracks when he sees Gerald in full military gear standing guard. Doesn't say anything for a full 30 seconds, just stares. Finally asks, "Soldier, why is there a garden gnome in combat gear at your position?" My squad leader, completely serious, responds, "Sir, that's Specialist Gerald. He's been assigned to morale operations and perimeter observation. His grandmother wrote a letter confirming his deployment." The colonel actually read the letter. All 3 pages. Started chuckling halfway through. By the end, he was laughing so hard he had to sit down. "This is the best psychological operations brief I've read in 20 years, he said. "Gerald's doing important work here. Carry on." Gerald deployed with us for 15 months. Never missed a day of duty. Survived 2 mortar attacks and a sandstorm that lasted 3 days. When we rotated home, there was serious discussion about Gerald's next assignment. My grandmother solved the problem. She'd already ordered 6 more gnomes, 1 for each soldier in my squad. "Gerald's trained them well," her letter explained. "They're ready for deployment. Those gnomes are now scattered across military bases worldwide. I still get updates. Gerald Jr. is currently serving in Afghanistan. Gerald III just finished a tour in South Korea. Gerald IV is stationed in Germany, apparently learning the local customs. My grandmother passed away 2 years ago. At her funeral, 6 active duty soldiers showed up in dress blues, each carrying a garden gnome. We buried her with Gerald Sr., who'd earned an honorable retirement after completing his service. The funeral director had never seen a military honor guard that included garden gnomes. Neither had the other mourners. But my grandmother would have loved every minute of it. Sometimes the funniest care packages contain exactly what you need, even when you don't know you need it. And sometimes a ceramic garden gnome becomes the best soldier in your unit.